I was talking to, let's just say, an NBA insider of note. And he made a very interesting point to me about the league. He said, listen, we got a salary cap. We got CBA things. It's hard to make trades in this league. You're only as good in the NBA, he said, as your have-tos. And I thought, oh, that's pretty interesting. What does that mean? And so what it means is, let's say this is your have-to. Hey, we have to get Jalen Brunson a really good number 2. That's a great have-to. That's a great one. You got the real team, you got the core, you got Jalen Brunson, but you have to get him if you want to win a title, a really good number 2. That's doable. Here's another good one. We got to get Wemby some help on the perimeter. Well, you got Wemby, you got Popovich, good ownership. That's a pretty good have-to. Hey, we have to sign Eric Spoelstra to an extension. We have to get Luka some defensive help. Again, there's no perfect team, although Boston may be close. Those are have-tos, right? Everybody's got them in the NBA. Those are good have-tos. Currently today, these are the Lakers' have-tos. We have to sign 39-year-old LeBron James, 40 in December, to a 3-year max contract because he's our only elite playmaker. And if Bronny's available, we'll have to draft him. That's the current state of the Lakers. That's it. You have to sign a 40-year-old, still really good, 40-year-old player to a max deal for 3 years, and you're going to have to draft Bronny if he's available. And now you have to settle for probably, since Dan Hurley ghosted you, you have to settle for probably your second, third, or fourth choice as a head coach. Those are the Lakers' realities. They also have one of the poorest ownership groups, the second largest front office in Los Angeles, pretty light on draft capital. And since AD arrived, they're in the cross your fingers business with AD and his health. Those are the realities of the Lakers. Okay, it's a little bit like the Dallas Cowboys. The expectations are high, reality is low, and the roster's always a little bit overvalued. I mean, before these playoffs started, I can't tell you how many people said, I think this team's got a shot to get to the Western Conference Finals. They matched up pretty well with Denver, but we had told you if they play Denver early, they're going to lose in 4 or 5 games, and the coach is going to get fired potentially. And it happened. So I've said this before, if LeBron takes a night off next year with the current roster, or AD takes a night off, that happens regularly. Austin Reeves is your second best player, and he would not start for the Dallas Mavericks in their backcourt today, or the Boston Celtics in their backcourt. He would not start for them, for the 2 finals teams in the backcourt. That would be the Lakers' second best player. So Dan Hurley, in a sport, college basketball, that's in transition, making half the money, said no thank you. So when you look around the NBA, just ask yourselves, this is the ultimate truth serum, as the NBA insider told me. What are your have-tos? Hey, we have to get Ant Edwards, a second guy that's physically and emotionally 22 points a night. That's a pretty good have-to. I got my coach. I got Ant. I got a defensive center. I got Mike Conley. What are your have-tos? That's what Dan Hurley turned down. So I thought this was interesting. Mike Tomlin signed an extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday. It was not met with celebration from many. Mike Tomlin is what you call in the NFL a made man. He's a made man. Production can dip, third in the division, miss the playoffs. He's okay. And I've found this out. If you question Tomlin at any point, the old heads come roaring down the hill to criticize you for a variety of reasons. This is a sport that has fired Andy Reid, who got to 5 NFC championships, often mostly with average quarterbacks, and a sport that just bailed on Bill Belichick, who could not get another job with all those rings. Mike Tomlin, last 3 playoff wins. 2016, he beat Matt Moore and the Dolphins. That year, he also beat Alex Smith, but they had no touchdowns, 6 field goals. The year before, they beat Cincinnati and A.J. McCarron. Last 7 years, no playoff wins, 4 of them with Big Ben. None, 0. But if you say anything other than, that's a Hall of Famer, wow, do you get pushback? And to me, what this really says isn't about Mike Tomlin. What it tells you is about the culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I think Mike would be a star on TV, more than capable head coach. But it is an offensive league, and the Steelers are always great defensively, always have a pass rush. Have they figured out their offensive line yet? It's been like 6 years. Do they have the right offensive coordinator? Finally. Feels like it's been forever. Most of his allies, most of his buddies clearly on the defensive side. But think about this. We have kind of poked the Green Bay Packers in the ribs, for wearing Dockers, very conservative. But the Packers have bailed on both Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre with years left of high-end play. They bailed on a Super Bowl winning coach, Mike McCarthy, and hired a young kid that we didn't know much about, handsome guy out of Tennessee. Those are big swings for little old conservative Green Bay. Big swings. Compared to the Steelers, Green Bay is buying crypto. They're a tight walker, a lion tamer, a bungee jumper. Compared to the Steelers, they're driving an EV. And Pittsburgh's like, how many? Let me check the odometer on my Honda Civic. Pittsburgh, by the Tomlin extension, and Mike can coach, great motivator, but it is interesting in a league where you are defined. Andy Reid got run out of Philadelphia. Was arguably at that point, he was the best coach in the NFC. Belichick's the best coach ever. Fired. I know he's never had a sub-500 season. But if you even push back a little on Mike Tomlin, the old heads come roaring down the valley. And it's like, Big Ben, 4 years, no playoff wins. As half the AFC was trying to find their next quarterback. And with a top 10 defense, 5 of those 7 years, nothing. No playoff wins. A.J. McCarron, Matt Moore, no touchdowns. I'm okay with it. I'm not losing sleep. But you start looking at that division, Stefanski got Cleveland a playoff win. John Harbaugh, he win a lot of games. I don't know. Zach Taylor got to a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. But I am not here to question it, because I know what happens when you just say, really, an extension? A little heat? It is what it is. But it does tell me a lot about the Steelers, who are probably more fearful of failure, right? Sometimes you're missing a head coach, than they are willing to elevate potentially offensively, at least at a league minimum. Steelers have been on quite a roll of bad offensive play for some time. Fear drives a lot of decisions in this league. Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.